So hi everybody out there in Diamond Painting Land. This is Tina Fraser coming to you from Columbus, Ohio on Saturday, April 20th at approximately 8:52 p.m. Eastern Time. Happy Easter, everybody. Those of you in the United States or wherever you happen to be that celebrate Easter. Some of you are already in Easter. But in the U.S., tomorrow, April 21st, is Easter. And I'm just kind of coming to you tonight with a little bit of a different kind of setup here. I've got my webcam that is pointing down to my diamond painting here for you, and you're gonna see that kind of up in the corner throughout this. And anyway, so I'm just kind of coming to you with a little bit of a paint with me tonight, and I am actually gonna be hopefully answering an Easter tag for you, if I can bring it back up again. Bear with me just a minute. I've got to look for it in my where did I have it? Happy Easter YouTube tag. Here we go. So this is a tag that's on Mama Cat's losinit.com. I will put the link to the Happy Easter tag below, but basically this is the Happy Easter YouTube tag, so if you look it up you can find it. I am working on my Princess Mononoke diamond painting. I got this diamond painting off of Huacan about 2 years ago, and I can move this up for you so you can see it. But there is what I have done, and basically all I have is all this left. So in the section that I have exposed for you, here's a little bit of her arm, and there's an armband on her arm, and here's some more of her arm. But basically this is some of the gray and dark blue background that is right in here, and then basically from about here all the way down and to the part that I have exposed is all black. So you can see the dot symbol, that's all black. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of finish this up for you, this little section, and get this done. And my whole goal is to have this kind of finished by the end of the month. The one thing that I dislike about this is a Huacan, and I ordered this before Huacan, people started having all those problems with Huacan. But unfortunately, even though I ordered this prior to Huacan having all their problems, especially in this section right here, where the fur of her outfit is located, I'm having like really bad popping drills in this area. And unfortunately, it's kind of annoying me. So I might actually have to end up sealing this diamond painting. But anyway, so you can see her. We have the big wolf eye up here, the other big wolf eye. But this is Princess Mononoke. A lot of diamond painters out on YouTube right now have been ordering Diamond Art Club new canvases that were just released earlier this week, and one of them that was just released was a Princess Mononoke, where you have the wolf next to her. And I'd really like to get that one, but I'm gonna have to hold off for a while because I have some diamond paintings on hand that I'd really like to get to first. They were the ones that I just unboxed this week. So anyway, I figured I would just kind of do a drill with me, stick with me, paint with me, whatever you call this video, and just kind of show you, just kind of do a tag for you. So when I was at Joann's the other day, I was in the bead aisle, and they have these smaller Beadsmith sticky mats. You can see it's kind of sticky, kind of flexible, and I just kind of use one of these and stick it on the protective coat covering of my diamond painting, and then I can put my drills in the boat and stick the boat to it. So all I have to do is, I don't have to worry about holding the boat. I can stabilize my canvas with this. I am working on my I showed you my my floor frame that I use for cross stitch. That's what this is on right now, so it's kind of wobbly, you know, it'll move around a little bit, but it's at the perfect angle, so I don't have to like lean over, and I can easily reach and see. And then with the light pad behind this, that is great. Those of you that have watched my video earlier this week, you've seen my Garon Toten Bags light pad bag that I got this week to hold my light pad. I'm really loving this thing. It'll make transporting my diamond painting a lot easier because I have something to put the light pad in. But anyway, so I will actually kind of get started. I really don't have any more updates for you diamond painting wise or anything like that. I haven't placed any orders, so I don't have any I won't have any unboxings or anything for you to do because, well, you know, oh, come on, where'd it go? Come on, I have to find it. There it is. So my light pad, the button for my light pad is right in this area, and so I keep touching it. So I am doing color number 336. So I use the Elizabeth Ward bead storage system for my drills. All of my drills are stored in here. That way, you know, for any given project, I don't know if you can see the trays down here. The trays are right here. I have 2 trays right now that have all my DMC numbered square drills in them for my diamond painting, and this is kind of what I work out of. So basically what I do, you may or may not be able to see this. So on this, the symbol, so basically what happens is I'll look on my chart here, and I'll say, okay, I'm going to do the hourglass. So I look on here, the hourglass is DMC 336. I actually go look in my tray down here for DMC 336, and as you can see, this or maybe not, this is DMC 336 that they have in here. So I don't have my drills separated by project. I actually have them stored by DMC number. And because I'm a cross stitcher, I'm very much used to looking at the symbol, figuring out the DMC color, and then going to pick out that color. So for me to store all my drills by DMC color and not by symbol is kind of second nature, since I've been cross stitching since 1989. So that is kind of how I do this. I basically store all my square drills with the DMC numbers in DMC number order, and then I just go pick out that DMC color when I get to that symbol on my canvas. So I really like this sound that the drills make when you shake the trays. Got one of these larger trays. This is kind of my go-to tray. I use this tray pretty much all the time now, whether or not I have like a little bit of beads like this, drills like this, or I'm using a whole bunch of drills, like when I get down to the black part here. Basically from here down to here is all black on this. There's a little bit of color in here, but yeah. So I'm going to be working up in here and kind of working my way down, and we'll see where we get. So like I was saying, I really don't have any updates for you, other than you know, this. I kind of like to finish this because I'd like to start one of my other diamond paintings. I don't know if I'm going to work on the either of the 2 Jasmine Beckett Griffith ones that I have, or if I'm going to I probably should finish the Diamond Art Club 4 Seasons tree that I've started when I was waiting on the replacement drills for this canvas. I should probably finish that one because that one should go pretty quick. But yeah, we shall see. I have a little bit of wax coming out of my pen. Alright. But yeah, so this is the progress that I've made so far on my Princess Mononoke. Those of you that have ordered the Diamond Art Club Princess Mononoke, and that's how you say it, is Mononoke, you should check out the Japanese animation that the artwork is based off of. It's actually called Princess Mononoke, and it's by an animation studio called Studio Ghibli, Ghibli. They've made all kinds of very popular, well-known animation movies. My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, and there's quite a few other ones that they're known for too. Studio Ghibli happens to be one of my favorite Japanese animation companies. I like pretty much every movie that they've put out. My Neighbor Totoro being my favorite, my absolute most favorite. I do like Princess Mononoke too, therefore, thus, that's why I'm doing this canvas. But anyway, don't really have a whole lot going on this weekend. It's just pretty much my husband and I this weekend. We don't have kids, so we don't really have any reason to go out and, get ready for the Easter Bunny and this, that, and the other thing. So we're just gonna kind of hang low at home this weekend and just chill out. But so I play handbells in the bell choir at church, and we have 2 church services on Sundays, one at 8:30 and one at 11 a.m. Being that tomorrow's Easter Sunday, the bell choir is performing with the choir and brass and everything during the church service. So I actually have to report to church at 7:15 in the morning, so I'm not really looking forward to that. My husband is also supposed to help me redye my hair. You can see the ends are still kind of purple, but I don't know if we'll be doing that tonight or not. It kind of just really depends. Alright, well that was a quick color, so I will move on to the next. But yeah, so we don't have very many plans much at all, except I've got to be at church most of the morning tomorrow, and after that I don't really know what we're gonna do. Like I said, we don't have kids, so we have no Easter egg hunt planned or anything like that. We don't have any family dinners to go to, so we're just pretty much gonna stay home. So my one gripe about this canvas is there's 2 colors that are, the symbols are really kind of difficult to tell. There's an uppercase B and an uppercase R, and they're all in the same area. One of them has a slightly more gray background, the other one has a slightly more blue background, but the symbols are a little blurry on the canvas, so they're a little hard to see. So I use a magnifier, and what did I do with it? I just had it. I'm going to set it down over here. So the symbols right in this area here, there's B's and there could be R's in there too. It's just right in here. So there's only a few in there, so I have to double check to see. There's an R. So bear with me while I check. Well, you know what? I think I'm just going to claim those are all B's. Those are all B's. Alright, so that's how I kind of distinguish between hard to decipher symbols, is I use a little magnifier to get it closer, because a lot of times you can tell just by the difference in the background. I said these were all B's. B's are 414. So I look at my thing for 414. Here is 414, 414, and that is my next color. I don't have very many to do, but it should be plenty. So I really like that sound. It kind of reminds me of rain. Alright, so then I just kind of stick this here at a bit of an angle so they fall into the corner. And then I go. Since this is a small area that I'm working in, I'm just using my single placer. I've been working with my 3-placer, which is on the other end here. So I have this pen. I made this pen holder. This is just the basic pink drill pen. Actually, this one is a clear one that you get in most kits, but I made this holder using my rainbow loom and some of my rainbow loom bands that I've had on hand. But I kind of like this. It makes it thick enough, and it's still really soft and everything like that. But I have my 3-placer on this end that I've been using with my single placer. So when I get down to the black down here, I'm probably gonna play with using the 9-placer and see how I like that, because up until now I haven't really played with it. All the colors up here, all the white that's up here at the top, I did pretty much checkerboard one by one. And this is this full square drill. This is a 65 and 80, 45 by 60, 30 color canvas, full drill, square. I prefer the squares. And as you can see, I mean, mine are getting pretty straight. My drills are actually pretty straight. Being a cross stitcher for like 20-30 years, you know, I have pretty good control over my my placement of the drills. Come on, get down in there. There we go. So, alright. I'm done with that color. The next color I'm going to do is Heart. Heart is 823. 823. It's right here. 823. Come on. It's not gonna. There we go. 823. So yeah, I really don't have much else going on. Doing Heart. There's quite a bit more in there, so I'll put more on my tray. There we go. That should be enough. 823. So yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but when I shake this out, because of the spout over here, I normally cover my hand and just grab it and shake it. Until almost all of them are face up the way they should be. So again, there's a lot of basic confetti in this area for this color. So I'm just gonna fill in. I fill in my diamond paintings section by section, but I do it color by color in that section. So I'll do all of one color in this section and then all of another color. So that's how I diamond paint. Now, one thing I've noticed with the 310 black diamonds or drills is that they tend to be dirtier than the other drills. Like, there's more trash in them. They've stuck together a lot more. So I use my diamond grinder to break up the stuck ones. But they tend to be dirtier, and they tend to dirty up the wax in the pen. a lot quicker. Whoops, a lot quicker than the other colors. So usually if I have an area that has a lot of black in it, like here, I'll do all the other colors first and then start in on the black, because chances are likely at some black I am going to need to refill my drill pen, because the wax will just get too grungy and won't pick up drills anymore. I don't know why black 310 seems to do that, but that is my experience diamond painting. Oh, there's a couple of 3s there, so I can pick up my 3s and place my 3s. Just didn't want to do that. Come on. There we go. Just go back to the single placer. Whoop. Alright, so since this is Easter Sunday Eve, I'm going to go ahead and do the Easter YouTube tag for you. Give me just a second to pull that up on my screen, and I will start in on the Easter YouTube tag. Alright, so question 1 is, do you celebrate Easter? So I kind of do celebrate Easter, I guess, in as much of celebrating Easter as you can do it. My husband and I, we don't have kids. We've been married, it'll be 23 years this year. We don't have any kids. We have 5 cats and a dog. And his dad and stepmom would always have a big Easter dinner for the family, but they live down in West Virginia. If you've been watching any of my YouTube videos over the last year, you know that both my in-laws passed away last year. So my husband's sister lives in West Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia, and she used to go up to Dad's for Easter Sunday. She'd go up for the weekend and spend Easter and have Easter Sunday at Dad's. Dylan and I wouldn't go because typically I was involved in the bell choir at the church that I've been involved with, and we were always playing on Easter Sunday, so I was always obligated to stay in town and play bells at church. So that is pretty much the only tradition that my husband and I have. We never really cooked Easter dinner. We never really got each other Easter baskets. We didn't have any kids to go hang out with. We didn't go over to friends' houses because they were always at their family's events. So we never actually kind of did our did our own Easter celebrations. We just kind of, it was just a kind of a typical Sunday to us. So, it just doesn't look right. Anyway, we do kind of celebrate Easter in the fact that, my husband's Catholic, but he's a non-practicing Catholic. So he hasn't taken communion in years because, well, as a Catholic, you're supposed to go to confession in order to prepare yourself for taking communion and, being holy and everything like that. Well, he hasn't been to confession since probably junior high because there are sins in the Catholic Church's eyes that he's committed growing up that he's not that sorry he's committed. So he just stopped going to confession, and therefore he stopped taking the sacrament. And, so he's basically a non-practicing Catholic. However, he still does no meat Fridays, so he can only eat fish on Fridays during Lent. Sometimes he does a fast, but he always gives up something for Lent as well. When I was growing up, because I didn't grow up Catholic, or didn't grow up with a religion that kind of practiced some of those doctrines, I was baptized Lutheran, but we didn't give anything up for Easter or anything like that. So I never practiced, giving up something for Lent. This year, my husband gave up red meat. So that's been kind of an interesting thing, trying to remember what's considered red meat and what's not considered red meat. So that all ends for him tomorrow, so he can go back to eating red meat. Although he has kind of said that he's going to be keeping red meat to a bit of a minimum in his diet going forward, because he hasn't really missed it. So, and I don't eat a lot of red meat. Basically it's kind of what my husband fixes for dinner. My husband does most of the cooking because, well, it's easier for him to open up the refrigerator, pick out a couple of things, and make something from it. I could cook. I'm just more of a recipe person. Like, I have to have a recipe to follow. Tonight's episode is coming to you, by the way, Orange Vanilla Coke. This stuff is the bomb. I really, really like this stuff. FYI. Orange Vanilla Coke, it's great. But anyway, so my husband does most of the cooking. So, he'll ask me, what I want to eat. And then he'll, we'll come home at night and he'll cook. Like I said, I can cook. It's just, it's easier for him to do it. He's a little faster at it. And he actually cooks really well. So my husband does pretty much 98% of the cooking around here. Now for baking, like baking and stuff like that, I'll do a lot of the baking for Christmas and all that. I'm a baker and candy maker, thanks to my grandmother. But yeah. So my husband does pretty much all the cooking. Okay. But yeah, we kind of celebrate Easter, but kind of not. There's things that we do around the Easter holiday because of the Easter holiday, but in general, we really have no kids to, do Easter egg hunts with and all that. And I grew up celebrating Easter, That's another question down below, though. I'll say question number 2 is, what is your favorite thing about Easter? I think my favorite thing about Easter is that it's finally getting warmer outside, and you can spend time outside, and it smells good outside. And the candy. I like candy. Some of my favorite candy comes out this time of year. I'm a Jelly Belly person, so I can't eat normal, just spiced jelly beans and stuff like that. I've kind of become a jelly bean snob in that respect. I'm a Jelly Belly person. So my husband, over the last few years, has started collecting jelly beans throughout the Easter season, because they have the Starburst jelly beans, the Laffy Taffy jelly beans, the Sweet Tarts jelly beans, the Nerds jelly beans, and all that. So he would buy every time we go to the store to do our grocery shopping, he'd pick up a couple of bags of jelly beans, so he'd have jelly beans throughout the year. Well, he hasn't been doing that. He didn't do that much last year because he was still kind of eating through his jelly beans from 2 years before that. But this year and last year, he hasn't been buying jelly beans, just because he hasn't really been craving them nearly so much. But anyway, so what are your plans for Easter this year? That's question number 3. So I kind of told you my plans for Easter this year. I have to be at church early in the morning tomorrow. The handbell choir is playing for both services, so got to be there early. They're serving breakfast in between church services, so I get to eat breakfast at church tomorrow, which is nice. And then I'll probably come home from church, get home about 1 p.m. And then my husband and I will probably figure out where we want to go to lunch, and then just head out for lunch. But other than that, I don't really know what our plans are. We don't have any other plans. We may stay home and mow the yard tomorrow. Front yard and backyard really need mowed. But other than that, we really have no plans. I'm probably going to stitch, either work on cross-stitch projects or work on diamond painting. I'd really like to try and hurry to get this thing done. I've been working on this for a while. But, you know, if I can get this thing done, I'll be like really, 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 really happy. So, I don't know. Alright, question number 4. Do you color eggs? I have colored eggs in the past, even as an adult. But to be honest with you, you know, hard boiling a dozen eggs to dye them for Easter, without kids around, you know, isn't something that my husband and I really do, because we'd probably hard-boil the eggs, dye them, and the eggs would just sit there. I really love pickled eggs, you guys. The pickled eggs that are made with beets, oh my god, I really love pickled eggs. But to me, they have to sit in there like, you know, several months until the yolks turn purple. That's how pickled I like my pickled eggs. The yolks have to turn purple. But we probably would never finish the eggs. Eggs would go bad before we would even eat them all. I mean, I suppose we could make, like, you know, egg salad sandwiches and, you know, cut them up and, you know, do stuff with them. But yeah, we would just never eat the eggs fast enough before they would go bad. So we don't even really bother dyeing eggs anymore. How old were you when you stopped hunting eggs? I would probably say I was like 12 or 13 when I stopped hunting for Easter eggs. There was a couple of years when I helped hide Easter eggs for my cousins. But, you know, I think I was about 12 when I stopped hunting Easter eggs. You know, my parents would usually buy me an Easter basket and then just stick it in my room so it was there Easter Sunday when I woke up. But, yeah, I think I was about 12 about the time I stopped hunting Easter eggs. So it's been quite a long time. Okay, so my favorite Easter treat, this kind of came up a little earlier, but so one of my husband's favorite Easter treats are jelly beans. I like Jelly Belly jelly beans, but you know, you can find Jelly Belly jelly beans pretty much any time of year. The one thing that you never used to be able to find outside of Easter was Peeps, you know, because they never used to make Peeps for any of the other holidays, but now that you can get them at Christmas, you can get them at Halloween, you can get them for Valentine's Day. I haven't seen New Year's Peeps, and I haven't seen 4th of July Peeps, but you can get them pretty much for any of the other holidays now. So growing up, I never really used to like Peeps. Marshmallow used to make me gag. Like fresh marshmallow used to make me gag. I don't know if it was just the texture or whatever. I loved the flavor of marshmallow. I couldn't eat marshmallows because it would make me gag. Now, if you were to roast a marshmallow and put it on graham cracker with chocolate as a s'more, then yeah, I could eat it. But generally, the taste of marshmallow and the texture of marshmallow used to make me gag, so I really didn't like marshmallows until I went into college and somebody gave me a thing of Peeps for Easter, and I thanked them for giving me a thing of Peeps. It was the flat bunnies. I like the flat bunnies more than I like the chicks. and I'll tell you why here in a bit. But anyway, she gave me a container of the flat bunnies for Easter, and I said thank you very much. And so they sat there and they sat there and they sat there, and she's like, "Are you ever going to eat your Peeps?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, as much as I appreciated your gift, I can't eat the Peeps because they make me gag because the marshmallow is really soft." And she goes, "Well, you could have opened the package. They would have been fine to eat by now." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she goes, "Make them stale. Open the package and just let them sit there for several weeks until they get rock hard, and then you can eat them." And I'm like, "Oh my God." So it wasn't until college that I had my first stale Peep, and I loved it. And I have to get them stale enough so like when you go to bite into them, they basically break your teeth. That's how stale I like my Peeps. So yeah, I like getting my Peeps stale. Now I've had Peeps sitting out for almost a year, and because of humidity and whatnot, they never got stale enough for me to eat them. Usually by that time the texture just kind of changes and they're still really icky. But I do like Peeps as long as they're stale. I'm a stale Peep person. I'll tell you that right off the bat. One of the things that I kind of wish I could find is mellow creams. Now for Halloween, you can find like the pumpkins that are like honey flavored. Those are so good, the mellow creams. And you can also buy the autumn mix that has like the moons and the little wheat things and stuff like that. My husband and I really like those. They used to have the mellow creams that would come out for Valentine's Day that had the little hearts and the little arrows and the little pink hearts and stuff. Unfortunately, the company that makes them no longer makes them except for the ones that come out at Halloween. And I'm really bummed because I really like the Valentine's Day ones. But I don't really like any other marshmallowy treat at Easter except for that. And obviously I like chocolate Easter bunnies. And I do really like Reese's peanut butter cups. You know, they make those shapes like the Christmas trees and the pumpkins and the Easter eggs. I really like the shapes better than I like the regular Reese's peanut butter cups, because to me the peanut butter to chocolate ratio is the perfect amount. And I don't know if it's the peanut butter in those shapes are a little different, but I really prefer the shapes over regular Reese cups. Now I will eat Reese cups, but I really prefer the shapes that come out for the different holidays. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So my best Easter memory so this kind of goes back to when, you know, my mom was first married to my stepdad. My stepdad got married when I was 7. Anyway, so my parents used to hide the Easter eggs. So we'd you know, boil a dozen or a couple of dozen eggs for Easter, dye them up, and our Easter egg hunts weren't with the plastic eggs. They were actually done using the dyed real eggs that we had. So, you know, we'd go to church. My parents would make sure that I was in church. I wouldn't know it, but one of them would sneak out and sneak home and get everything set up, sneak back to church. After church, we'd go out to breakfast, and then we'd head home, and the Easter Bunny would have stopped by our house to leave me the Easter eggs to find. So, there was one, and I grew up in California, in Southern California. So we kind of rarely had rain. It was rarely inclement weather. You know, California has 80-degree Christmas days. No snow, no rain. So anyway, you know, we were hunting Easter eggs, and my parents would always make it a point to count the number of eggs that were found, and we would keep looking for a while until we made sure that all the eggs were found. Well, there was this one summer where the house that we were renting at the time belonged to an old family friend. I don't know if you've heard any of my stories, or if I've even mentioned this before, but the house that we were living in at the time was haunted. And I was about 12 years old. This is one of the last times that I hunted Easter eggs. But anyway, so my stepdad had gone home during church to go hide the Easter eggs. And because it was nice outside and it wasn't raining, he hid the Easter eggs mostly outside, around the outside of the house, in the backyard, the front yard, and everything like that. So, anyway, it got, I came home, I changed clothes, they gave me my basket, I started hunting my Easter eggs, and we spent about 3 hours trying to find all the Easter eggs. And we couldn't find 2 of them. We spent a good probably 45 minutes to another hour searching and searching and searching and searching for these Easter eggs that we couldn't find. There was 2 of them that we couldn't find. High and low, up and down. My dad even got on a ladder and kind of laid down on the roof looking down around the house from an aerial view to see if he could find the eggs. We couldn't find them. And California is warm, right? I mean, 80 degrees on Christmas Day. I mean, California is warm. So, it gets to be pretty warm in the summer, and in the spring it can be pretty warm outside. Well, so this is like I'd say 84. 1983, 1982, 1981, somewhere around in there. So, hunting for this egg, couldn't find it. So we kind of gave up. We figured either an animal will run off with it or something will happen. Well, sometime around June, okay, the bathroom window was an old frosted window that you could open, and you push it up, okay? It was kind of an older window, a little higher up, and a little smaller window than the rest of the windows in the house. So, as it started warming up, we started having this problem in the bathroom, and we thought it had something to do with the sewer pipe. We called the city. The city sent somebody out. We called a plumber. We snaked the bathtub. We, had somebody come in and snake the toilet. And, we were checking the sewer pipes and everything because it smelled really bad in the bathroom. Sulfur smell, all to hell. It was bad. We had called plumbers. We'd had the city out. We'd had, the landlord hired a couple other people to come out, and, nobody could figure out why we were getting this really bad sulfur smell inside the bathroom. Well, one day I was in there, and the smell was just really bad. I walked in, and I was gagging really bad. So I went to open the window. Now, granted, I had to climb onto the toilet to open the window because the window was high enough that I couldn't reach it to open it. So I went to open the window, and then I saw this thing fall on the outside of the window. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And the smell was horrid, horrid. So my dad and I went out, because I told him something fell out of the window when I opened it. My dad and I went out. Now, granted, this was June, okay? This was the end of June. So this is 2 months, a good 2 months after the Easter holiday. So we went out, and lo and behold, on the ground, broken into pieces, reeking to high hell, was the 2 Easter eggs that we couldn't find. He had put one on the windowsill and one up higher in the window. That's what we were smelling. We could see where the eggs had cracked. The one egg was still pretty much intact, but it had been cracked. And you could just, it was disgusting. It was so disgustingly bad. So yeah, we found our Easter eggs 2.5 months after Easter, because we had this really nasty smell. And of course, once we got rid of the eggs, you know, the whole sulfur smell in the bathroom went away. So yeah, that's kind of my one of my most memorable Easter stories, was not being able to find 2 of the Easter eggs and then finding them like 2.5 months later because of the really nasty smell in the bathroom. And my dad had totally forgotten that he'd put them up there because he was trying to trick me. Because he always said he would keep things at my eye level. Well, it wasn't at my eye level. I could reach the one on the windowsill, but I couldn't reach the one up on the window. But higher up in the window. But yeah, so that was one of my more popular, most memorable Easters, was the Easter that I couldn't find all the eggs. And then we found the other 2, like 2 months later. So, alright. Number 8. Do you get pictures with the Easter Bunny? I used to get pictures with the Easter Bunny when I was growing up. I think one of the last pictures I took with the Easter Bunny was when I was in 4th grade and I had my busted arm. Alright, I'm going to have to take a little bit of a break, but I will be back. So let me go ahead and pause this for a minute. And I will be back. Alright, so hopefully I'm back, and I've kind of adjusted my camera angle a little bit so you can kind of see this a little easier, kind of where I'm working. Anyway, so I was talking, so I have to find it here for you. There we go. So I was on question number 8. Do you get pictures with the Easter Bunny? My husband and I have not gotten pictures with the Easter Bunny since we've known each other. We met each other back in '94, and we haven't had pictures taken with the Easter Bunny since then. I actually think it would be kind of fun to do that every year. Even with no kids, I just think it would be kind of fun to go get my picture taken with the Easter Bunny. So I have, you know, kind of a record of how I've changed over the years. I also think it would be kind of fun to start doing that with Santa too, just so we have pictures with Santa and the Easter Bunny, so we could see how we change, you know, every half year or so. We've also kind of talked about taking our pets to go get their pictures taken with the Easter Bunny and Santa, but we just never have done it. I used to when I was little, and I was remembering taking a picture with the Easter Bunny when I was like 12 or 13, when I had a broken arm. That was actually with Santa Claus, so it wasn't with the Easter Bunny, because it was in the summertime when I broke my arm, so it would have been more with Santa than with the Easter Bunny when I had the broken arm. So anyway, going back to the questions. Number 9. What do you typically put in Easter baskets? Well, if I were going to be putting together Easter baskets today, it would kind of depend on who it was for. If I was putting together an Easter basket for me and or my husband, it would include chocolates. It would probably include like video game type things. Legos. My husband and I are kind of really into Legos. For me, it would include like gift cards or crafts, or like diamond painting supplies, or you know, cross stitch supplies or whatever. It would have to include some sort of craft stuff. I would probably order a See's Candy Easter Bunny, also known as a Seaster Bunny. Unfortunately, the See's Candy shop here in Columbus closed back down. See's Candy is a West Coast, like Southern California chocolatier, and I grew up eating See's Candy. See's Candy was everywhere around me when I was growing up. So that became my favorite chocolate. and because I always had it growing up. Well, in Ohio, the big chocolatier here is known as Anthony Thomas, at least in Columbus. Well, Anthony Thomas chocolates are just okay. I'm not a huge Anthony Thomas chocolate. We also have Godiva chocolate. Godiva chocolate's okay, but it's not See's chocolate. So whenever I'd make a trip out to California to visit my parents after coming to Ohio in 1992, I would stop by the Sea stores and bring home See's for a little while, because the only place you could get See's is out in California. Well, probably about 8 years ago now, or so, roughly, at Christmas time, See's Candy started having kiosks here in our malls. And I was happy. I was so happy. I was so elated. So I started getting my toffee chips and, my See's caramel suckers and everything like that at Christmas. Well, then at Easton, one of the local shopping centers here in Columbus, a See's candy shop opened up. I was so happy. I was in there a couple times a month getting chocolate and, tasting chocolate. And I love See's. See's candies are the greatest. So my husband and I, about a month and a half ago, went over to Easton to go shopping. And I wanted to stop by See's because I wanted to get some chocolate and to see if they had Easter bunnies, chocolate bunnies for sale. Lo and behold, our See's store had closed in February, like the week before Valentine's Day. I was so sad. I was heartbroken. I was almost in tears, you guys, because our See's candy shop shut back down. So we have no more See's here in Columbus. So I have to wait until we go to California before I can get more See's. And I am sad. I am a sad panda. I'm a sad panda. So this year I settled for a Godiva Easter bunny. So I have a Godiva Easter bunny to eat. And today, my husband, I asked my husband if he wanted anything special for Easter. And he said he wanted either a maple cream Easter egg or a peanut butter Easter egg. And he didn't want like a See's peanut butter Easter egg. No, he wanted one of those Easter eggs that you normally find at like the chocolate shops or like the Amish make or whatever. So there's an Anthony Thomas chocolate shop across from the Target that we go shopping at a couple times a week. We're Target shoppers. We like Target a lot. Anyway, so after we went to Target today for shopping, I pulled across the street and we went into Anthony Thomas. Now, I haven't been into Anthony Thomas in a while. I haven't had their chocolates in probably almost 20-some years. The guy that I came to Ohio for back in 92, who shall remain nameless, he thought Anthony Thomas chocolate was like the best chocolate on the face of the earth. So I kind of got sick of Anthony Thomas chocolate. But I think the reason why I started hating Anthony Thomas chocolate was because of him. Because that was his favorite chocolate. So, of course, he being nameless, I stopped eating Anthony Thomas chocolate. But anyway, so we went into Anthony Thomas today. So I ended up with a small Anthony Thomas chocolate Easter bunny too. So I have chocolate Easter bunnies. So chocolate Easter bunnies must go in my Easter basket. Preferably a See's chocolate bunny. But yeah, chocolate bunnies. Also, the Reese peanut butter eggs. Those have to be included. Probably some form of jelly bean. Some sort of crafty thing. Maybe some sort of book. And maybe some gift cards. Maybe even some wine. Now, one of the things that actually came out this year that I was really happy for was we have Peeps coffee creamer, you guys. It's marshmallow flavored. Peeps coffee creamer. So after a little bit here, I'm actually going to go make myself some coffee and add some Peeps creamer to it. Yeah, we have Peeps creamer for our coffee, you guys. Anyway, you've probably seen that on my one of my more recent videos. I did a taste test for you. Anyway, So that is kind of what I would put in my Easter baskets. Number 10, what does the Easter Bunny typically leave your kids? Well, my husband and I have no kids. We would, you know, we don't really buy anything for the cats. The cats wouldn't understand what the hell Easter is. It would be more fun for us to buy stuff for the cats and the dog for Easter, but yeah, we typically probably wouldn't get anything. Now, any of the above, like what I would put in Easter baskets, is probably what I would put in Easter baskets for kids too. You know, I'd probably find some toys. I might put in, like, you know, free movie tickets to go see a movie that they wanted to go see. I might put in, like, frisbees, you know, toys that they can use outside, that kind of thing. You know, if it was a girl or a boy that wanted a Barbie, you know, I'd put a Barbie in there for them or whatever. It just something kind of special that they would probably want. You know, something that the Easter Bunny would probably be happy to give them is probably what I would put in there. You know, so that's about it. So that kind of ends the Happy Easter tag, you guys. Really don't have much else to kind of chat with you about. I'm going to continue working on this section of the diamond painting until I have to go to bed tonight, or until my husband comes upstairs to help me dye my hair. If we dye my hair tonight, I'm going back to the dark purple that I really like. My grays are showing through. But other than that, I really don't have much else for you. I don't know when my next diamond painting video will go out. I'll probably have a cross stitch video before I have another diamond painting video. But nonetheless, here you go. I hope you've enjoyed this paint with me video. And I hope you've enjoyed my answers to the tag, the Happy Easter tag. Hopefully I'll remember to put the link for the tag down below. I know it'll probably be on Easter before you guys watch this. If you watch it, I hope you watch it. But yeah, so anyway, that's all I've got for you tonight. I hope you guys that celebrate Easter have a happy Easter. Whatever holiday you're celebrating right about now, I hope you have a good one. If the Easter Bunny stops to visit you, I hope he brings you something fun, and everything like that. I wish you guys good health. Hopefully you guys are able to get out and enjoy the spring weather. We're having pretty okay weather here. It's a little on the cool side, but it's not terribly cold. And we're not having snow, so that's good. But anyway, I hope you have a chance to spend time with family this weekend. Enjoy the holiday. And we will see you soon, everybody. Take care. Happy Easter again if you celebrate. Happy whatever holiday you happen to celebrate this time of year. I know I'm not going to be able to list them all because I don't know what all they are. But anyway, I wish you all the best. I'm going to enjoy some coffee and some Easter chocolate tonight. I'm going to have Peeps Creamer in my coffee. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I have a kind of a long day starting early tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get some diamond painting and or stitching in tomorrow for Easter. Take care, and until next time, just keep on keeping on, because that's all we can do, and we'll talk at you soon, alright? Take care now. I gotta get the mouse here. Bear with me, there we go. So, anyway, take care, and we'll be seeing you soon, alright? Bye now.